Good morning everyone. Today I wanted to share a shorter standing practice that really looks at getting into some of the joints of the body, looks at finding a little bit more space, a little bit more ease, and just kind of finds a sense of staying grounded through the body, but also welcoming a sense of lightness, of ease. So this will be a bit of a shorter practice today, so hopefully one that you can maybe sort of have in the morning, or that doesn't maybe take up so much of a commitment to come to. So to begin, I just simply invite you to take a breath in and just enjoy a stretch. Just take a nice full body stretch, stretching right into the fingers, maybe bringing the arms out wide, just taking up space. And then letting the arms release back down by the body, maybe letting the body relax a little bit, slump a little bit. And then coming back to standing, and before we come into our mountain pose, we're going to get into some of the joints of the body. So we can start by bringing our awareness to our right foot and just bringing that foot out in front. And then I just invite you to gently just rock the foot from side to side. Maybe noticing that you might feel a bit of sensation, a bit of stiffness in the ankles, in the foot. And then when you feel ready, just beginning to circle through, so to rotate through that foot, through the ankle. And then reversing in the opposite direction. Again, just noticing how it feels, noticing if it feels spacious or not. And then we can come to bring that foot next to the other one and just come to explore that on the other side. Just simply rocking from one side, bringing the weight over to the other side of the foot. Beginning to circle through and find that sense of rotation, of opening up through the ankle, through the feet. And then just when you feel ready, reversing back. If there's any area that you want to kind of stay with and explore a little bit more, just doing what feels good to you. Encouraging and accepting any noises, any clicking, any creaking. And then just coming back to a standing position, bringing both of the feet on the ground. And then we can bring our awareness to the knees, and you might want to come to a wall or just not lift the foot if balance is a little bit of an obstacle. So you can either just come to sort of bend one leg and release the foot down, or if it feels available, you can lift the leg up and just extend the leg out, bringing the leg back in and then relaxing down. So again, on the other side, maybe just simply bending the leg is enough, keeping the foot on the ground, or if it feels good, you might lift the leg up, extending out, coming back and then releasing the foot down. Then maybe exploring that with the breath, so taking the breath in breath lifts the leg. As you breathe out, extending out in front, breathing back in, bringing the leg back to center, and as you breathe out, grounding back down. And just coming one more time on this side of the body. Just moving at your own pace with your own breath. And then coming to find both of the feet on the ground, maybe taking a few little kind of movements into both of the knees, keeping everything quite loose and bouncy. And then we can bring the feet a little bit wider, and we're going to come to bring some rotations into the hips. So you can either bring the hands on the hips if that feels good, or the arms can stay by the side of the body. We're going to bring in a figure of 8 movement. So maybe taking a breath in, kind of starting with the breath, and then just starting to bring your movement over to the front right side of the hip, and then moving or bringing the movement back to the back right side of the hip, and then moving across the body, so finding that figure of 8 movement. So we're really finding a bit of a rotation through the hips. Admittedly quite a strange thing to do on video, so just embracing that movement, maybe enjoying finding a little bit of space. And if you bend the knees, you might find a little bit more movement. If you keep the legs straight, the movement might be a little bit more sort of in your center, in your core. You can also let the arms come into this action as well if that feels nice. Just kind of finding a bit of looseness. And then once you've moved one way, seeing how it feels to reverse your direction, to start to find a bit of rhythm as you circle and figure of 8 back through the opposite way. And then maybe beginning to make those movements smaller and coming back towards a kind of midline. Eventually coming to a moment of pause, of stillness. You can either keep the legs where they are, or if it feels more stable, you can bring the feet back in to come back up towards our mountain pose. And then we're going to come straight up towards the shoulders and the neck, and find a bit of movement that kind of brings a bit of looseness into the whole of the shoulder girdle, the neck. So first of all, just taking a moment, maybe take a breath in and release the breath out through the mouth, or have a bit of a sigh. And then we're going to take a breath in and begin to float the right arm up, just coming up overhead. And then as we breathe out, we're going to turn the head away from that arm and then come to bring the arm so it comes behind the small of the lower back, palm facing behind. And then taking a breath in, beginning to bring and rotate the arm all the way back, head comes back to center, and then releasing that right arm down. And then just exploring this 2 more times with your own breath. As you breathe out, turning away from the arm, bringing the arm and the hand to come behind the back. Maybe just noticing how it feels in the shoulder to rotate the arm in this way. If you can maybe feel any sense of opening, of stretch between the neck and the arm and the shoulder as you turn away from the arm. And then whenever you finish that last round of movement, just relaxing that arm down, maybe noticing if you feel a little bit looser in that side or maybe not quite yet. And then we can come to the other side, so taking a breath in, floating the left arm up this time. Breathing out, turning away from the arm, bringing the hand to come behind the back. In-breath brings us back towards center. Breathing out, releasing the arm down. And just coming 2 more times. Seeing if the breath can really lead and support. And also just bringing any awareness to how it feels in the body, what you can feel in the upper body particularly as we explore this movement. And then releasing or relaxing that arm down when you've come 3 times on that side of the body. And then we're going to bring the hands in towards the prayer. We're going to focus a little bit on the wrists for a moment. So bringing the hands into prayer, we're going to take a breath in here. And as we breathe out, just starting to bring the backs of the hands together. And then we're going to bring the fingertips facing down and then bringing the palms back. So we're just rotating through the wrists, through the palms of the hands. Doing this a couple of times with the breath. If that does not feel or does not come naturally or getting a bit confused, you can just kind of find some circles with the wrists independently. So just find what feels nice for you, what feels supportive for you. And then in whatever variation, coming to reverse back through that circling motion through those rotations. And then bringing the hands apart and just shaking the hands out a little bit, shaking the wrists out, letting the fingers and thumbs, arms feel a bit loose. And then relaxing the arms down, relaxing the hands down. And then from here, from hopefully finding a little bit more space in the body, we can then build our mountain pose or our foundation of our standing postures in a way that can not only feel grounded, but also feel like it's got a sense of lightness, of ease. So if you want to have a little bit of a move before we come into our mountain pose, I really invite you to. And then we're just going to bring the feet, so both of the feet come into a position that makes you feel stable. So it might be about hips distance, it might be a little bit wider, a little bit narrower, but just finding where feels good for you, where supports your body this morning. And then you can either sort of close the eyes or find somewhere to settle and rest the gaze. And just see if we can begin to bring our awareness inwards into the felt embodied experience. And as we do this, we can begin from our roots, from our foundations, and just start to feel into the feet, feel into the sensations that you can feel in the very soles of the feet. And as you bring your awareness here, can you notice maybe where your weight is leaning or where your body is leaning? And then from this awareness, can we begin to bring a sense of evenness, of balance through the legs, through the feet? And doing this by beginning to ground down through the heel of the foot, and also beginning to ground down through, forgotten now, through the heel and through the ball of the foot, forgetting the word for ball of foot. So finding those two connection points. Then seeing if you can notice the outside and the insides of the feet. Finding a connection or sense of grounding down evenly through these parts as well. And if it feels helpful, you might lift up the toes and just exaggerate those points of contact. And then relaxing the toes down, beginning to bring your awareness to the middle of the foot, where your arches begin, the sort of heart of the foot. And just see that as you ground down through the other parts of the feet, if you can find a sense of lifting up through that part of the foot. And as we find a sense of drawing energy up, we can bring our awareness to come up through the legs and just find a sense of gently activating through the legs. Finding a bit of stability, of strength as we stand here. Then pausing at the knees and just checking that we're not pushing the kneecaps back or locking the knees in any way. And if it feels like that, we can gently bend in the knees or just find somewhere that finds a bit more softness here. And then we can come back towards the hips and the pelvis that hopefully feels a little bit more spacious now, and just come to bring one hand to the lower belly and one hand to the lower back. And just begin to gently tip the pelvis forward and back. And then see if we can find a middle place between those two movements. A place that feels easy and balanced and can really support the rest of your spine, the rest of your body. And relaxing the arms down and just seeing if we can begin to relax through the belly a little bit more, through the chest. Bringing awareness up towards the shoulders and taking a breath in and drawing the shoulders up towards the ears. And breathing out, relaxing the shoulders down, finding space. And just invite you to explore that one more time with your own breath. And just allowing the shoulders to relax, the arms to be down by the side of the body, checking in with the position of the head and just bringing it roughly over the heart, over the pelvis. So we're not bringing the head too far forward or too far back, but everything is sort of as least amount of effort as possible. And then as we stand here, I invite you to soften through the features of the face to allow any expression that might be resting here to just begin to soften, perhaps begin to fade. And then beginning to bring your awareness to your breath, and for a moment or two, not even changing the way that we're breathing, but just see if you can maybe hear or feel the breath in the body. And if you find it helpful, you might bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly, just to give you that little bit of extra feedback to notice the movements of the breath. And then as you continue to be here, continue to breathe, I invite you to start to lengthen your breathing so that next time you breathe in, you invite the breath to come down towards the belly, slowly down. And then as you breathe out, slowly releasing the breath through the nose or the mouth, and just seeing if we can settle into this slightly longer way of breathing where we're bringing the breath down towards the abdomen. Allowing this way of breathing to bring relaxation, a sense of grounding, calmness. And only allowing the breath to be as long as feels comfortable to you. So if you feel any strain at all, if it feels uncomfortable, just allow it to be a little shorter again. And then from here, I invite you to bring the hands into a prayer position at heart center, keeping that sense of length in the breath as we breathe in, just starting to extend the arms up, bringing them up overhead, and then as you breathe out, breaking away the arms, allowing the arms and the hands to circle down. And then in breath can bring us all the way back through center. Out breath, releasing the arms down and coming one more time with your own breath, with your own rhythm. And then we're going to stay with that arm movement, but next time the arms are up overhead and they break away, as we breathe out, we're going to start to bend through the knees, coming through a high squat, and then as we breathe in, growing back up tall. As we breathe out, keeping strong through the legs, grounding through the feet, as we just begin to sort of move in and out of this movement. Checking in with the position of your head, of your neck, of your spine. As you lower down, keeping the gaze down so we're not kind of putting any sort of strain on the neck. And just seeing if your breath can support you. So as you breathe out and lower down, releasing the breath, drawing the belly in. And as you breathe in, using the in-breath as a support to bring you up. And coming one last time with the breath, and next time the arms are up overhead, just allowing them to release down, relax down. Maybe having a sigh or a shake, releasing the breath in any way. And then we're going to take a breath in together and just begin to sweep both of the arms out in front. And then as we breathe out, beginning to sit back into an imaginary chair behind, a bit like our high lunge. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here if that feels good. You might want to bring the arms out a bit wide if that feels a bit tight for your shoulders. You might want to come a little bit lower or a little bit higher. And just see if we can explore another breath here or another couple of breaths here. Notice how it feels in the body. Maybe notice a little bit of heat rising or sense of energy rising. And then as you breathe in, beginning to press evenly through the feet, bringing both of the arms up, and then releasing the arms down, having a little move, a little sigh or a big sigh. And then we can maybe just sort of move the feet a little bit as well, and then coming back to re-establishing or coming back to our mountain pose. And we're going to explore a little bit of a flow, just to find a sense of space again in the body. So some of what we did was building a bit of stability, and we want to kind of even that out with finding mobility as well. So bringing the hands into heart center, coming back towards that place of our mountain pose, settling back in through the feet, relaxing through the shoulders. And then taking a breath in, beginning to open the arms out, really find space through the chest, through the collarbones. Breathing out, bringing the hands back towards our heart space. Then taking a breath in, bring the arms up overhead. And as we breathe out, we're going to open up into a twist towards the right side, opening both the arms out. In-breath brings us back towards the center, and then as we breathe out, opening towards the opposite side. And this time, as we breathe in and come back towards our center, we're then going to breathe out, start to hug the belly in as we fold over, fold the hips, allow the chest to release, coming all the way to a forward fold. Taking a breath in, tracing the hands up the legs, maybe to the shins or the thighs, coming to a halfway lift. And then breathing out, releasing back down. Taking a breath in, leading with the chest, the arms can come out a bit like wings to support us to come back up tall. And then breathing out, hands come back towards heart center. Taking a pause here, taking a moment of stillness. And then when you feel ready, beginning to move through this sequence again. Taking a breath in, opening out. Breathing out, returning back. Letting your in-breath find that lovely length through the spine. And breathing out, opening into your twist. In-breath can bring you back before exploring opening out on the other side. And coming all the way back to center, and as you breathe out, hugging the belly in, folding out the hips, leading with the chest, and then allowing the spine to round, head and neck to release. Taking a breath in, tracing the hands to wherever feels good for your halfway lift. Relaxing the spine down. Breathing in, leading with the chest, coming all the way back up. And then breathing out, relaxing, releasing the hands back towards the heart. Taking that pause, that stop, that moment to check in with how you feel in your body, in your whole self. And then when you feel ready, inviting that smooth breath into the body as you open the arms out. Breathing out, bringing the hands back towards the heart. Breathing in, extending the arms up. And maybe hugging the belly in as you breathe out and open up into your twist. In-breath comes all the way back as the arms come back to center, and as you breathe out, opening up. Coming back through, and as you breathe out, once again folding down, leading with the chest and then allowing the spine to release. Breathing into your halfway lift, bringing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing out, releasing down. Leading with the chest, finding that really nice sense of gliding back up. And then releasing as you breathe out, hands come back towards heart center. Finding that natural pause, that natural stop. And releasing the hands, releasing the arms, having any little move that feels good to explore. And then when you feel ready, we're going to bring the legs a little bit wider. So if you're about hips distance, just coming to bring them maybe about shoulder distance, or a bit wider, a bit narrower if that feels good for you. Have a bit of an explore, and having the feet kind of roughly parallel as well. And then we're just gonna, a bit like we do in our mountain pose, just check in that the feet feel nice and steady, that your sort of hips and your pelvis are comfortably sort of positioned over, that you can relax the shoulders, bring the head over the heart. And then we're going to bring the arms down by the side of the body, and next time you breathe in, just begin to bring the arms out towards the side. And then when you arrive here, just relax the shoulders down. See how much space we can allow to be there, to be in the shoulders. And then taking a breath in here. And as we breathe out, we're going to gently start to sort of tilt over towards the right side. The hand might come just out to the side, it might come down towards the leg. And then as we breathe in, we can start to come back towards the center, and then explore releasing over towards the other side. And we're just going to move in this way. So in breath brings us back, out breath. As we breathe out, gently hugging the belly in to support as we come over to our side bend. Then breathing in, allowing the belly to soften as we come back to center, and then drawing back in as we release to the other side. Coming back towards the center, and then this time when we come over towards the side, we've got an opportunity to stay here for a couple of breaths. If it feels good for the head and the neck, you might take a breath in and bring the gaze up towards that top hand. As you breathe out, begin to bring the gaze down towards the feet, down towards the floor. Maybe coming one more time in this way, breathing in, bringing the gaze up, breathing out, resting it down. Then this time when you breathe in, we can start to bring ourselves back to center. And then taking a breath out, releasing to the other side. Taking a breath in, looking up towards that top hand if that feels okay. Breathing out, releasing the gaze down. Just moving in this way to begin to integrate the whole of the body, also the neck and the head. And coming one more time with this movement, and then next time that you breathe out and the gaze is down towards the ground, we can take a breath in. Bring the arms out to the side, bring the gaze back to center, and relax the arms down. Have a sigh, have a move, have a smile, anything that feels good. And then we're going to stay with the feet wide for a moment, and we're going to keep the sort of position of the legs, but we're going to see how it feels to turn the toes out. So the heels are going to stay in, the toes are going to go out. And before we come into this posture, just seeing, first of all, how it feels to bend through the legs. And when you bend through the legs like this, are the knees tracking in the same direction as the feet? And if not, you can always turn your feet a little bit further in, a little bit further out. So just having a little bit of a trial run. And then once you feel happy, we can sort of rest our awareness with the feet for a moment and just check that we're grounding down evenly through the feet. that we've got that really nice connection, like in our mountain pose. Then bringing the arms down by the side of the body, just checking in with the pelvis, with the shoulders, with the head. Maybe taking a breath in or a bit of a sigh. And then next time that you breathe in, I invite you to sweep the arms out towards the side. And then as you breathe out, we're going to start to bend through the knees and bring the palms to face forward. Then breathing in, pressing evenly through the feet to bring us back. Breathing out all the way back to our starting point. Let's explore that again. In-breath opens the arms out. As we breathe out, lowering the body down. Pressing up through the feet as we breathe in to come up. Releasing the arms down. Coming back through this one more time. And then the opportunity to stay here for a moment, to pause here for just an extra breath or two. Feeling into the strength of our body, of our legs. Maybe seeing how it feels in the arms and the shoulders. Breathing here. And then as we next breathe in, we can straighten the legs, bring the arms out to the side. Relax the arms down. Bring the feet back to face towards the front. Come back to our mountain pose, our place of sort of beginning, of foundation. When we come back here, have a little bit of a shake, a bit of a move, whatever feels good, a bit of a dance. And then eventually allowing the body to settle back. Bringing our awareness back into our feet for a moment, into our legs. You might close the eyes or soften your gaze. Just feeling back into the hips and the belly and the chest. Seeing if we can invite a bit of a sense of ease into these areas of the body. Allowing the shoulders to feel loose, the arms to feel relaxed. And softening through the whole of the face. Bringing our awareness back towards our breath. And not breathing in any other way than the way that is natural to you. And then bringing the hands towards our heart center. And then I just want to say thank you for sharing this practice with me. And namaste. And have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.